You're listening to the Deep Gripping Reality Podcast, the show that gives you leadership lessons and insights from the cutting edge of digital marketing. Hosted by Stephen J. Adelman. It's about to get deep.
Hey, Nick. Which one's better to post on? Instagram Reels, Instagram TV, or just regular?
All of them, duh. I like all of them.
Duh. Yep, all of them. Why didn't I think of that?
Recently in a conversation, I was asked about the power of Instagram Reels. A friend of mine, his name is Starting Overdrive. Well, that's his podcast. You should totally check it out. But since he inspired this, I figured I would share with you. So basically, he had discovered me, even though he'd already been following me and interacting with my content. He discovered me on his Discover page. One of my reels that was like 2 weeks old had shown up, and he was kind of wondering about that, and said congratulations. He was super excited, so was I, and so we had a back and forth dialogue, and I realized that as I looked through my own Discover pages, that Instagram has reserved a spot for Reels content creators on the Discover page, predominantly in the upper right-hand corner. Now, the reason this is important is because Reels is a relatively new feature. Been around for a couple of months now, and it was designed specifically to compete with TikTok. It's taken on a life of its own, and of all of the posts that I have, the ones with the highest organic engagement and reach, and the ones that tend to go quote-unquote mini-viral, and I say mini-viral because it's viral compared to my other posts, are the ones that have the right hashtags and are Instagram Reels. That little 30-second snippet seems to do really well, specifically if I repurpose a piece of content that I made on TikTok. What's funny is that the official the official Instagram creators account discourages using TikToks. You can, but because it's made on TikTok and has the TikTok logo, they would rather you use Instagram Reels because it has a lot of hidden features and different filters and things like that. It doesn't have quite as many as TikTok. So, but what's interesting is, for whatever reason, I assume it's because of the catchy thumbnail and the, flashy transitions and things like that, their algorithm tends to pick up and share with more people if it's one that I made on TikTok than it is on regular Instagram. So, then it comes down to the question of which one should you be doing for your strategy. Should you focus primarily on posts, on Reels, or on IGTV, Instagram TV? The answer is all of them. I mean, why not, right? So what's interesting is that when platforms offer you services such as Instagram TV and Reels, they want you to use all of them. And they're going to reward your account more organically the more you use all of them. And here's why. Because people consume content in different ways. I'm going to say that again. People consume content in different ways. Some people prefer to only watch IGTV. That's the reason why if you start an IGTV video, it just keeps rolling to the next one. So what's interesting, it's meant to be like television, Instagram television, right? So it just keeps rolling on through these IGTV videos, and as you interact with them, the algorithm learns which ones you like the most. And so with Reels, same type of thing. They're shorter, right? They're more digestible. So because of the way that they work, very short videos, the 15-second videos that are on posts, or the photo posts, or whatever, because of the types of content that they are, and because they can be consumed in different ways, there are people who exclusively use Instagram to consume that IGTV videos, or and I think that it will be, it's not there yet, but it will be that people use it exclusively to consume Reels. It'll be their go-to, kind of like Twitter. And then they will somewhat put out stuff on Instagram. And then there's people who just use it for the traditional Instagram way. And here's why all of this matters. Here's why all this is important. There are two types of users on any social platform. There's content creators and content consumers. You see, what's interesting about social media business models is that it's all user-generated content. Even the ads are user-generated content, unless it comes out directly from that platform. So if you're a creator, you're trying to get your message out to your audience organically, preferably, or you can pay for it, then, the more that you create, the more chance you have of being seen. So if you take one piece of content and you splice it up and you repurpose it just right, or you connect it to other pieces of content, you have a better chance of reaching a bigger audience. And there are people who exclusively consume. They don't make anything, or they very rarely make anything, and they're on the platform to consume. So TikTok is their algorithm is so unique. And I actually did a Deep Gripping Reality episode about this, but their algorithm is insane because the way that it works is it asks you what some of your interests are, but if you don't answer that and you skip that part in the setup, it just shows you everything. It literally shows you everything. And anything that you spend more than a second on, because it's timing you, it assumes you like that content. So I think the number is 3 seconds. That's the magic number for whatever reason. But the longer you watch a video, or if you engage with it by liking it or whatever, the more it's going to feed you like that. So for example, if you start watching videos on conspiracy theories, or if you start watching TikToks on art, you'll notice that your For You page, which is literally tailored for you, will start showing up with more and more popular creators. So that's kind of how that works. And I don't think that I really don't think that the algorithm for Instagram Reels is set up that way yet. I think it very well could be or will be soon, but it's not set up that way just yet. But literally, the TikTok algorithm learns organically better and faster than anything else. And it's kind of hard to reprogram. Like, so for example, I was watching this military guy who used, he was a spec ops kind of guy who got intelligence on people. And so by watching a few TikToks, he was able to tell people like the city that they lived in, that sort of thing, and really go deep. And it was just trolls. And he didn't give out any personal information to his audience, but he said just the right things that the person who was trying to troll him was like, whoa, this dude knows a lot about me. So it was real intel stuff. Well, I found that very fascinating. So I watched 2 of his videos. And now next thing I know, I'm getting all these military and ex-military vet type things on my TikTok. So it learns what you like and what you don't like, and it tries to give you more, because the more it gives you, the longer you stay on its platform. The longer you stay on its platform, the more chances it has to feed you an ad. And that's where they make their money, is on ads. Now, they know that if they inundate you with too many ads, then you're going to bounce the hell out of there and go to another platform. So they have to be very careful. And before feeding you an ad, they need to make sure it's an ad that'll resonate with you, that there's a good chance that you'll keep watching. And it seems kind of creepy. It seems kind of, big brothery, but think about it. This is a free platform that you willingly give your information to, and you willingly tell what your interests are. And a lot of times you'll like and follow brands that you like. So why wouldn't they advertise to you? It makes sense, right? So ultimately, I know that I started by talking about which one was better, but I am doing this post specifically in connection with a TikTok video, a Instagram Reels, which was made from the TikTok video, and then this IGTV video, because I'm connecting them. So on TikTok, I teased and said, if you want the full story, check out IGTV. And I posted the same thing to Instagram Reels, and then there's this, okay? Now, if you want to see even deeper, what you're going to want to do is go to anchor.fm/TDGR, the Deep Gripping Reality, because that is going to show you specifically deeper insights into just about every social platform and algorithm. So it's really, really interesting the way this works. I find this stuff fascinating, and I've been asked before, why I give out all of this content, why I just tell people this stuff. And it's because, 1, I find it fascinating. 2, I love helping people grow. And the better you can grow, the faster you can grow, the more successful you'll be. And so I feel like by putting out my knowledge into the universe and the things that I discover into the universe, and by giving that out, 1, I'm making the world a little better. So that's nice. It's a positive thing. But 2, I'm also establishing my industry expertise. So there is some selfishness in it. I want my clients, whom I'm always saying, go out and create content, go put it on social platforms. I want them to know that I practice what I preach. So if they search for the Deep Gripping Reality, there's a good chance they're going to find either an Instagram Reels, an IGTV video, an Instagram post, a TikTok, a Twitter post. They're going to find my content providing the same value to my audience that I provide to those who pay me, and they'll see that I go so much deeper when I'm paid. So it's not just me trying to show that I'm smart or toot my own horn or even just help people. It's to build my own personal brand and to show that I have integrity. And that's interesting to me that more people aren't doing that. And the funny thing is, like I said, you have to change your mindset. Are you a consumer or are you a creator? Are you a consumer or are you a creator? If you have a purpose-driven goal, right, and you have something that you want to do, why are you on the platform? Are you on it to consume, or are you on it to consume and promote? Are you on it to build relationships? Are you on it to build your brand? Whatever it is, you have to shift your mindset. And if you say, I can't make IGTV videos, I've been told I have a great face for podcasting, which is a rip on an old joke, you have a great face for radio, right? Well, it's true. I'm lucky enough that I have a decent voice, so it works out on podcasts. But for the most part, like, nobody likes getting into a camera, but like anything else, getting in front of a camera, but like anything else, it gets easier the more you do it. And if you're authentic and true and honest, it's going to shine through, right? So take your content, take your videos, splice them into more consumable, digestible bits, 30 seconds or 15-second bits, and repurpose that content. Because when people discover that and they get a taste of something they like, they're going to want to consume more of it. Think more like the algorithm, right? Gary Vaynerchuk is a guy who I follow pretty closely and I absolutely love. And what he says is that when they ask why he gets on all the social platforms, he says, because even if one fails or gets bought out and gets taken out by whoever buys it, you take that brand equity with you. If they liked you on that platform, they're going to like you on whatever the other platforms are. They're going to find you on those other platforms, right? So that's a really, really powerful thing. And I encourage you to figure out ways to resplice your content. It doesn't take as much time as you think. It takes no money. It's absolutely free, with the exception of the time that you invest, which is a sunk cost anyway. You think about it, it's either you're doing this or you're doing something else, right? What are you losing that you could be doing? Like for me, for right now, I could be going into the house and getting a nice drink of water before I start work. But I'm not that thirsty, so I'm not losing out much by making this video and by putting this out there for my audience. So, reevaluate your goals, reevaluate the purpose, the reason that you're on whatever platform you're on, and then run with it and really shift your mindset. Am I a consumer today or am I a producer today? Am I a content creator today? And if you want to be a content creator today, awesome. If you want to be a consumer today, that's fine. You don't have to exclusively be one or the other. In fact, I encourage you to consume the type of content you want to put out, because then you're going to learn from others. You're going to take what they do and try and do it better. It's like my old marketing professor said, it's the case method. Copy and steal everything, right? So the idea is that you will take the information that you're consuming, you're going to take the things you like about it and get rid of the things you don't, and you're going to put it out in your way and in a way that resonates with the audience. Because the reality is, the reason that you are creating the content you're creating is because if it resonates with you, it more than likely resonates with your audience. So start thinking less selfish. Keep your selfish goals in your mind. We all have them. And think selfless. What value can I provide to my audience? And that'll help you grow your audience organically. So if you've liked this video, if you've liked this information, if you found it helpful, do me a favor, drop me a comment and say so. Share the video. That would be fantastic. Put it on your story, or if you're listening to this on the podcast, by all means subscribe, because a lot of my content isn't just repurposed IGTV videos. The majority of my content, which I have probably 200, 300, I don't know, there's a whole boatload of podcasts at this point, but they're me either consulting with people or interviewing people or giving insights that I've found from hours and hours and hours of research. And that's what I aim to do, is I try and take all of my knowledge and research on certain topics and put it into small digestible packages so that you can improve your strategy. And that's what it's about. So if you're not following me already, follow me. I'm on all the platforms at TDGR Podcast, and my podcast is The Deep Gripping Reality. So search for me on the podcast platform of your choice. I hate to do that. I hate to do the selfish plug, but frankly, what I'm finding is interesting is that I'm putting out this content. People are consuming it. People are enjoying it. My audience is growing, but my download numbers on the podcast are not anywhere near what I thought they'd be, which is kind of interesting to me as well. So I'm going to continue to try and grow my podcast. The episodes are short, they're digestible. Please check out a few, and don't just jump on the first one. Like, scroll through, find a title that really resonates with you, and see what you think. Thank you very much for taking the time to consume this content, and now go out there and produce your own. Until next time, dig deep, my friends.
Check out the Deep Gripping Reality Podcast, your place for digital marketing tips, tricks, hacks, personal sales strategies, and more. All on major platforms.